Alright, so the Ninja Turtles have been exposed. And as I'm sure you can imagine, mutant ninjas have to be careful to manage their public image. People fear what they don't understand, so let's make a little pamphlet to help people get to know our reptilian, crime-fighting friends a little better. Today you're going to be making a pamphlet in Google Docs using what we know about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. When you get to this assignment page, and please first read all the directions just so you know what your objectives are for today. And then come on down here to TMNT pamphlet and click on that. It should open up a document that looks just like this. It's blank and it is taller than it is wide. Now I'm going to, because I'm going to be working on this, and I don't want to change the file that you're eventually going to be opening, I'm going to make a copy of this file. I don't want to edit the original file. I want to make a copy so that I can work on that. So this is my copy of TMNT pamphlet. This is my copy of what you're going to see when you get started. Now, usually when we hand out pamphlets, we orient the page sideways, and then we divide it into 3 sections on each side. That way we can fold it into 3 sections and hand it out as a compact little pamphlet full of information. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn this page sideways. Right now, it's taller than it is wide. And do you know what we call that orientation? When a paper is taller than it is wide? We call that the portrait orientation. Because when people go get their portraits taken, the pictures are often taller than they are wide. We don't want portrait orientation. We want the page to be wider than it is tall. What's that called? And it's called landscape. Give yourself a pat on the back if you said landscape. How do we turn it? Well, we go to File, Page Setup, and then we change it from Portrait to Landscape. Do you remember this box? In our last assignment, we came here to change the margins of the page. You can also change the paper size or the background color. There we go. Now it's wider than it is tall. We also want to make 3 columns. Our pamphlet's going to have 3 columns. So the way we do that is we go to Insert. No. We go to Format. Sorry. And we come down here to Columns. And then we have the choice of 1 column or no columns. 2 columns, 3 columns. If you click this more options, you could probably have 4 or 5 or 6, but that's getting crazy. Let's stick with 3 columns. And now, do you see how the ruler changed up here? The ruler changed to reflect that you can type in this space all the way down the page, and then there's going to be a little space, and then the text is going to continue in this little space, and then there's going to be a break, and then the text is going to continue in this space. Now our pamphlet's going to have a front and a back. We could just start typing, and then we know that the computer, once we fill up the first page, the computer will just continue on the next page. But this isn't a normal text document. We want more control over our text. You know, when an author is writing a book, they just start typing, and it doesn't matter where things go to the next page, because it's just one story. You just keep going. We want to compartmentalize things and lay things out a little more organized. So let's go ahead and set that up now. We want 2 pages, a front and a back. Let's go ahead and insert a page break. And when the user inserts a page break like this, it's called a hard page break. When the computer just goes from one page to the next because the user keeps typing, that's called a soft page break. We want a hard page break, and that tells it, hey, go to the next page. And this is going to be helpful because it's going to keep things from the second page from creeping up onto the first page. You know, as we edit this document later and we delete things, add things, it tends to push things down on the second page and pull things up as we delete stuff. Inserting a hard page break now is going to prevent the computer from doing that and screwing up our layout. Similarly, we can keep things in the columns that they're supposed to be in by using column breaks. So let's go ahead and insert a column break. And instead of going to the next page, this will go to the next column. And then let's insert another column break for columns 2 and 3. And then come down here and do the exact same thing. Insert column break, insert column break. And again, this is going to keep things from creeping from column 3 to column 2 when we delete stuff. And it's going to keep things from creeping from column 2 to column 1. Now, one thing that I like is that I can see the entirety of page 1. I have to scroll down to see page 2, but I can see all of page 1. So when I'm typing, I'm going to be able to see exactly what it's going to look like. Sometimes when you open up a document, it doesn't look like that. It's zoomed in real wide, and you can't see your whole page. The easiest way to zoom out so you can see the whole page is to use Control minus. Hold down Control and press the minus key or the hyphen key, and it zooms out. It makes things smaller so that you can see more on your screen. Similarly, if things are too small and you want to zoom in, you can use Control plus, 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 minus, minus. What I want you to do is I want you to, we've got 3 panels on each side of the paper and 2 sides of the paper. So we have 6 panels. I want you to create a little cover for the pamphlet. That's going to take up 1 panel. And then inside the pamphlet, I want you to create an introduction. That's going to go on 1 panel. And then we're going to have 4 panels left over. Well, we have 4 Ninja Turtles. So I'd like you to put a biography for each turtle on all of the remaining panels. Where are you going to get this information? Well, scour the web and find information on the 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Write a bio for each. Each bio must contain the turtle's color, favorite type of pizza, weapon of choice, and a quote from the turtle. But don't stop there. Write something that sounds professional and will help the public see that the turtles are good and nice and fun, and the public has nothing to fear from them. So let's go ahead and get started on if you think about on the cover. Now, if you think about how this pamphlet is eventually going to be printed out and folded up, you'll realize that the cover would not go here. The cover needs to go over here, because when we fold it up, this is going to be the cover. So let's go ahead and type in, I don't know, what should we call our pamphlet? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Alright, that'd be fine. But remember, this pamphlet is meant to address fears and concerns that the public might have upon finding out that there are mutant ninja turtles in their city. Uh-oh, I lost my column break here somehow. I'll put it back in. So let's come up with a clever title like, Who Are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then we want to make this look good, so let's move it down the page a little bit by using enter, 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 enter. Let's make it a little bigger. Come up here and change the font size. Let's go ahead and center it. I think it would look much better centered. That font is kind of boring. Let's try a different font, like Comic. That's okay. I think I like Merriweather better though. You can choose whatever font you want from here, and then there's, if you don't like these, there's an option for more fonts. And now, because we're going to be handing these pamphlets out to the public, we're not really going to be handing them out, but we're pretending like we're going to hand them out. You know, we want some sort of cover image that grabs people's attention. So later on, you're going to need to use the drawing app to create pictures for the turtles' bios. Let's go ahead and use the drawing app now to create a little cover picture. Who are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? So I'm thinking, you know, this is part of the creative part. You gotta imagine something. I'm thinking like a picture, like little small pictures of all of the turtles with like a big question mark in front of that. So I'll have to go online. And let's just search for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle bios. Ah, perfect. There's some little pictures. So I'm going to take these 4 pictures, and I'm just going to kind of arrange them right here and put a big question mark in front of that. Now, in Word, it's really easy to do stuff like that. You can just drag and drop pictures, and you can layer them. You can put pictures in front of another picture. It does it really easily in Word. But we're not using Word, we're using Google Docs. And Google Docs will do it too, but you can't just drag and drop things right on your document. You have to use the Drawing app. How do we get to the Drawing app? Let's go up to Insert, go down to Drawing. And it gives us this little app where we can kind of compose our drawing, and then we click Save and Close, and it gets all collapsed down into one image. So I want to get these pictures. The best way to get these pictures into my drawing app is just to right click on them and go down to copy image address, then go back to the drawing app, click image, and then we have some choices here. We can upload an image from our hard drive if we have one. This image is not from the hard drive. Take a snapshot. That's like if you want to take a picture with your camera. By URL, that's if we have the web address of our image, and that's what we have. So let's paste that here. There it is. Select. There it is. Copy image address, image, right click, paste, select. There we go. Right click, copy image address, image, right click, paste, select, right click, copy image address, image, paste, select. There you go. Now the way I want this to look is I want these to be kind of arranged kind of in a little group here. I don't know, something like this. Not perfectly lined up. I want it to look a little bit scattered. In fact, we could even rotate these by selecting a picture and then grabbing this little handle and rotating it around. Now, if you'll notice, these have a particular order that they're on the screen. The Leonardo picture is behind the Raphael picture, and the Donatello picture is in front of the Raphael picture. What if we wanted to change that? What if we don't like how these are overlapping? How do we change the order? Well, all you have to do is right-click on a picture when you're in the drawing app and go down to Order, and you can change the order. You can send it backwards 1, or you can send it all the way to the back. And the reason these, it also usually gives you the option to bring to the front or bring forward 1. But it's not giving you those options because it's the furthest forward right now. So if I click send backward, now it just goes backwards in the order. But actually, I was fine with it where it was. So let me bring that forward again. And I think that's starting to look pretty good. But now I need a big question mark. So, I don't know, let me just try typing question mark. And then doing an image search. Lots of question marks. Now, one thing I have to be real careful of is I want to make sure I choose a question mark with a transparent background. You might already know about transparent backgrounds. A transparent background is like a clear background. Every image is a square. But if you get an image with a clear background, then everything that's beneath it will show through the clear background. And it'll make it look like the image is not a square. I don't know if I like any of these. I'm going to change my search. I'm going to do question mark clip art. You know, clip art is what you can look for when you're looking for something to put in your document. Alright. Here's some. Let me click on this one. Now I want to see if it has a transparent background. This one does have a transparent background. How do I know that? Well, when you do a Google image search and you see an image has all this white and gray checkerboard behind it, that's its way of telling you that this has a clear background or a transparent background. So let me go ahead and right click, copy image address, go back to my drawing app, right click, paste, and select. And now, just a little question mark. It's right there like that. Now I think that looks pretty good, but there's one other thing I want to show you when you're getting creative. The background is 100% transparent right now, which means 100% of what's underneath it is showing through. The question mark is not transparent, but the background is. It might look good if we made the question mark a little bit transparent, and then it would show a little bit of what's underneath. We can do that by right-clicking, and this only works in the drawing app, by the way, but we can right-click and go down to Image Options, and it gives us a few more choices for our question mark. And I want to turn the transparency up. Let's take it up to, I don't know, 50% and see if that's too much. Now, do you see what happened? Part of the underneath images are showing through the question mark. It gives it kind of a ghost effect. And sometimes that looks really cool. I'm not sure that looks better, but I'm going to leave it right there. And you can change the brightness and the contrast. Contrast just means it makes blacks blacker and it makes whites whiter. It makes reds redder, it makes blues bluer. Contrast just increases the difference between all of the colors. And sometimes it looks really, sometimes it makes an image look sharper when you turn up the contrast. And sometimes if an image is too sharp, you can turn down the contrast. When I scan photos into my computer, I usually edit them and turn up the contrast a little bit. It makes them look a little sharper. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. I think that's it. I think the image is totally finished. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save and Close. Now I can't change it from here once it's done. If I wanted to change it, if I decided it looked good in the drawing app, but it doesn't look good in the final pamphlet, I can left click on it, and then I can click Edit, and it'll take me back to the drawing app, and I can make changes. But I think it looks pretty darn good. And then let's just really quickly put a little subtitle. That's too big. Subtitles should be smaller than the main titles. There you go. Okay, cool. So now you know how to work inside the panels. You know how to create images. Just jump around and add your bio information. Oh, it's very important that you cite your sources, okay? So you can do it at the bottom here. You know, these aren't my pictures of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I need to give credit where credit is due. TMNT graphics from, where did we get them from? We got those from TMNT bios, TeenageMutantNinjaTurtles.com. Copy, Control C. You can paste here, but be careful. If you paste, you might paste some unwanted formatting. So what I actually like to do, if I'm not trying to preserve formatting information, I'll come down here and paste without formatting. And now it's too big again. It keeps wanting to go to the next page. This does not need to be very big, so let's just take it way down. There we go. Cool. Now no one can get mad at us because we cited our sources. The last thing I want to say before I go is part of your instructions are each bio picture needs to have a graphic of the turtle's favorite weapon inset on the bio image. I want to make sure you know what that means. Inset just means it's like it's kind of like when you have one of those TVs where you can watch two things at the same time. You know, you're watching the main thing, but then there's a little box in the corner that's showing something else. That's inset. So if you grab one of these photos again, you're going to need to use the drawing app again. That's why I want it inset, is because that shows me that you used the drawing app to do it. So make sure you grab one of these photos, or a different, I prefer you use a different photo. And then add it on here by URL, remember. This one's going to be a little bigger. And then Leonardo, what's his favorite weapon? His favorite weapon is the bow. Look for a picture that would look good. Oh man, I don't see very many pictures at all, but karate supply. Here's a bow. Doesn't have a, oh well, that'll do. Try and find something that looks better than this, but copy image address. Paste. Inset means that it's inside the picture. You want to make sure you can see his face, but is it okay if it overlaps like that? Yeah, it's fine if it overlaps like that. If you're trying not to cover up his face, that's fine. But I don't want it out here. I want it, you know, as part of the picture. Like that. Okay? Good luck. Hey, it's me again. I just reread the directions and I realized I asked you to save it as a PDF. So let's go over that real quick. How would you save a document like this into a PDF? All you need to do is go to File, Download As, and then it gives you some options for downloading. You can download it as a docx document, which is a Microsoft Word document. But what we want to do is download it as a PDF. And it's going to ask you where you want to save it. I'll save it in Documents, and I'll call it TMNT pamphlet. Oh, make sure your name's on it somewhere. Either put your name here in the file name, or put your name on the pamphlet itself. I really don't care, as long as I can tell who it's from. And then click Save, and it's going to save it as a PDF. And then I want you to go back, and I want you to all right, I'll get back to you on how I want you to send me that PDF. You might have to email it to me. If you want, just email it to me at at seacharter.net. All right. Good luck, guys.